Okay, we are live. I see us on there.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing, I think if we go to, if someone, oh no, look, the comments are right there. So if someone was to comment on the Facebook thing, then there it is right there. We'd see comments if they came up. So cool, we can see that. All right, so Willie will be happy. Willie Naylor.
Oh yeah, it worked.
He got real happy to see you, Kevin.
Hey, dickheads. It worked. I tried it.
Oh, look at it. Hey, Willie Naylor's right there. We were just talking about him. Hey,
Chloe.
hey, so you gotta write something to Willie. Can you write something to Willie?
Sure, I can.
Yeah. Tell him that I told you we'd be on it this week. I did. Well, he could hear us, right? So I could just tell him.
Yeah.
Willie, hey, buddy, Willie Naylor. Finally, we got our shit together enough to get your message, Willie. So we're. Get that logo off for a second. Let's get this show going.
Yep.
That's what I remember from Willie Naylor. You should have been there.
Yeah, remember when Dave puked on him? He puked right on him. Okay. Oh, we're on. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Facebook, we already got a guy. Not only is he watching us, but he's also talking to us. Willie Naylor. This is we're making us feel like we're really got something going on here. So cool. And I love you too, Willie. And we're going to get this show on the road. But the first way we're going to be able to do it, and it's not what you think, Johnny. It's the ads. It's the money that pays for this place. We got to thank the people that keep the lights on here. So first of all, we'll thank CleanFlow. Go to cleanflow.com. That's KLEENFLO.com and check out all CleanFlow's great products. And they are great products. I can stand behind that. And thank you to CleanFlow for helping out our show. I can't thank you enough. And also to our Queen Jen Husko. She's the one that we really always want to make sure we thank. You are the one that we like the most because you are our one and only Patreon subscriber or supporter. Go to patreon.com/Dutch Hall and be a supporter too. Join our Queen Jen. And I got to tell you, there's big treats in it. I'll get to it later in the show, but there's big treats when you become like a super fan of our show.
Yeah.
So, what's that? Oh,
Did we double from last week or no?
What do you mean?
We were supposed to get double the Patreon from last week.
Oh, was it in a week?
I thought so.
No, we didn't
I
get.
thought that was the challenge, but
Oh, that seemed aggressive. We did not accomplish our goal. No, we're still sitting at one and counting. One and counting. Anyways, that's it for ads. I think if you really are still watching this live, you can get tickets for the Swazi show on Friday, or at least just tell us you're going so we know to prepare for you coming there. They're starting to come in now, but god damn it, people wait till the last minute to confirm they're coming to a show nowadays.
yeah.
Nobody likes to commit.
It's brutal, but it's hard to plan, and it makes you really shit in your pants for about a week. Okay, that's it. That's it, Johnny. What we did was we scoured the internet. We're going to entertain you people for about an hour, but there's only one way to get started, and that's with a little thing that we call our theme song.
Willie's naked.
Willie's telling stories, eh? We can tell that one, Willie. I'm not sure which is the real shit.
Star of the show and two-time President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke.
Hey, welcome everyone. Hey, welcome everybody to the show. I'm your host, Pete Van Dyke. We got a good one here. We had a story I got to tell right off the hop, but before we do that, let's introduce the people in the room. We have, as always, my co-host sitting next to me. He's decided to take ownership this week of the chat. So if anyone's chatting on the Facebook chat, at least, Kevin Van Dungeon, everyone.
Hey.
This guy's going to be able to help you out, and he's going to make sure that he'll chat if I'm talking about something else, or he'll just make me know what you're saying, and then we can get to it. We have one more guy to introduce. This guy's back for the third week in a row, and he's been killing it every week.
Yep.
He's not only humiliated Kevin because he's been able to do his job better, and he's half his age. But he's also, as it turns out, a German Italian,
Yes.
which is even more of a sting in the wound for Kev.
It sure is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Johnny Redden, everyone.
Hey. Ooh,
Oh, he's got the same thing that you had when you started out. No confidence to give yourself the full applause.
It'll get
Last week
longer.
was a fart, though. This week was a partial applause, and I see that as improvement in
too.
Johnny's self-confidence. I like that, Johnny.
Moving on up.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, I don't even know. Willie is trying to tell us about this. He's got a story, and I got to tell you, we're old men now, Willie. We're old men, but there's a story, and I can tell you how I remember it, and I think I know how you remember it. I don't think we remember it exactly the same, and I'm not even sure if you remember it the same as you did the last time we talked about it. But the way I remember it, you had a ragtop Sunfire, and we went to Turkey Point as young men in this convertible red car. We went down to Turkey Point, and we went to the hotel to try to pick up girls. Oh. That's what I remember. I think that's what was a common occurrence at the time. We went there. I don't remember having that much luck, but the story is your story. Do you remember? Willie remembers them having us having a carload of women when we left that night, and I remember us having none. So I don't know which is true, but
I like Willie's confidence.
Willie says yes, we did. Okay,
All right.
I just don't remember it. I was a heavy drinker, so there's a good chance I don't remember it. I do remember getting pulled over in a ride on the way out of there, and I remember that happening. And I remember we got away. We didn't get any trouble, which was amazing. But
Well, it says here that he talked his way out of it.
yeah, I think that is partially true.
Mm.
Like that I remember as well. Like we talked our way out of the ride. Yeah. You were on the same story, right, Willie?
Yeah. And Willie's got a silver tongue, too. Like, I believe that.
Oh, yeah. Willie could always talk.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Also, Willie's got a memory like an elephant. He remembers everything. Like, I remember we used in my kindergarten class. He was in our kindergarten class, this
What?
guy.
Was he really?
Yeah. Willie Naylor was in our kindergarten
I
picture.
have no idea. I got to look back at that.
Damn straight. And one time I went to high school. This was to Waterford High School. This was when my friend Dave was going to school there. So this would have been in his grade 13 year,
I think we're in the same homeroom.
right? So like 13 years later, this guy in my kindergarten class sees me in that high school, remembers me from kindergarten.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Memory like an elephant, Willie McGinn. That's what I believe. Anyways,
Willie Naylor.
Cop was so impressed that those girls sitting around the sides of the car. Oh, so Willie says the cops were impressed with us because we had so many girls in the car. I love this story. I wish I remembered it. This is the thing about being a blackout drunk, Johnny. It sounds good, but it's not as good as you think. But I always have the greatest times when I'm blacked out, and everyone says they had a good time with me, and I forget the whole thing. You know, I don't remember any of it.
It sounds like the cops even liked it.
Yeah. Damn it. Those are the stories you wish you remembered, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't normally black out. I usually just brown out.
Do you get little
Remember
bits and pieces of it?
pieces of it. And,
Yeah, over time, yeah. That's the thing. I do remember parts of that, but I don't. You think I'd remember having any success with a woman in my life? 'Cause I don't. There's got to be only a handful of times that actually worked out for me. That's good vodka. One time I was in class, and this was when I went to school in England, and we had a teacher come into our room to teach us a course. You know, I think it was drama, and my friend Maddie, he's just sitting there and he's sipping a glass of water. You know, And he's sipping it like that. He's taking a wince every time he sips his glass of water. And then it turns out he was just drinking a glass of straight vodka in class. Just kind of get real hammered so that it wouldn't be so expensive at the bar.
Yeah, some classes, you need it.
Yeah. And then one time we went out to a bar after the semester was over with this guy, Professor Economides. He was like a real smart dude. He was on like CNN and stuff like that. And he was like a really well-respected guy for the London School of Economics. And then he comes out to the bar with us, and then he goes, "You guys are a bunch of jokers, you know? Like, you guys drink during my class." And we're like, "What? Your teacher class at lunchtime, and we're eating our lunch. Like, the beer was cheaper than a pop."
Really?
Yeah. So, like, you'd go to get a sandwich, and you go to get, like, something to drink, and it would be, like, a beer or a pop, and the beer was like half the price of the pop. You're like, "Fuck, I'll take a beer." And then you just drink beer with your lunch. And then he's like, "You're drinking during my class." It was like, "I'll get over it. It's just a beer with a sandwich." You know. Anyways, maybe we were a bunch of jokers, as it turns out. So this week we have absolutely nothing. As I kind of like, I wouldn't say I forgot, but I definitely let down my responsibilities for a week. So to make it up to you people, next week we do have a great our second auditioner for the role of the Nocturnal Emissions. Next week we will have Friendship on a Stick come in, and we're looking forward to that. My first time meeting those fellas, so I don't know what to expect.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, Friendship on a Stick. I mean, it can't be good. It can't be bad. I mean, my brother-in-law said he saw him at the Wishbone Brewery in Waterford, and he said that they were very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So they're coming in, and what else do I have? Oh, that's it. Oh, what?
Nothing.
Yeah. Anyways, so I went. But that's next week. That'll be entertaining. So we gotta fucking throw as much shit at the wall this week. See what we can make stick. Okay, fellas.
All right.
So I went on the interweb, Stephen Harper, if you will.
Yes.
You know, the all-knowing, everything. And I put in, tell me something cool to talk about, internet. And then I found this site, and it gave me a whole bunch of stories of weird shit. And I have 3 different ones that I can go to. Okay? This is plan A.
Mm-hmm.
Plan A. Plan B is I told Kevin I got nothing, right?
Yeah.
Kevin says, "I'm going to come up with something. Don't worry about it, boss."
Let's
Ready?
go with plan A.
And then plan C was Johnny. I said the same thing. I said, "Johnny, you got anything? I'll take anything you got," right? And then, so that's also plan B and plan C. We'll start with plan A.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Let's run those in order.
Okay. All right. Just so you know, though, I'm trying to take off some of this burden of all these years of Dutch Hall planning and writing. You know, I just want to sit here in a chair and have you guys do all the work, and then me just take the glory.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I have a good one when Beav comes back.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is it about? Is it something to do with your wife?
Well, it's about women in general.
Women in general? Yeah, that's the best ones for Beaver.
Yeah.
I asked him to come today. He says he's not quite ready yet. Not quite ready yet.
That's all right.
No, he's still got that little fella. You're gonna see when he comes in, like that. There's nothing left of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just wasted away, totally ripped. Anyways, so my 3 stories, I will make you choose. Johnny, you get to choose.
Yep.
Oh,
So either man is arrested for visiting his ex-wife's grave every day, or B, the church knows that you are dirty, or C, the 5 biggest cheaters in sports.
I'm gonna say B because I'm quite curious about that. But
The church knowing you're dirty?
yeah,
Okay.
how do they know?
Well, some churches have been busted for monitoring their members' internet use. What they're using is, what they're essentially doing is installing spyware on your computers. They install spyware on your computers. It's known as shameware. and I don't know how they get in there, but this program, it can tell like what porn, if you've been watching pornography. It looks at your Amazon shopping list and knows your search, what you've searched. It's called Covenant Eyes.
Johnny looks a little nervous right now.
Yeah, like, is this why my priest gives me dirty looks now?
Well, maybe, yeah. If he's got your email address, he's put some dirty pornware. So this one dude, they pointed out that there's this one dude. His name was I can't believe they put his name in there too. I'm gonna say it. His name is Heo Wei Lin. I don't know if anyone knows this guy, but apparently this app found out that he's gay.
Right.
Because it found out he was looking at a bunch of guys shoving cocks and other guys. And so then the church called him in for a meeting. And then they said they didn't criticize him for it. They helped him to like overcome his
gayness.
His gayness. Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't criticize him. So then they went on to say, "We're not a cult."
Wow.
We're not a cult because they were accused. Some people were saying you're accused of being a cult because you're controlling the person's like behavior. You know.
Right.
And they say they're not a cult because a cult, I think a cult teaches strange things. Mm-hmm. They try to control your life and forbid you to leave. And so they're not a cult.
Not
but
at all.
It's a strange idea to want to know what kind of porn someone's going to be watching so you can judge them.
Yeah.
You know, like if everyone had to show their porn history, oof. You would, all of us would look worse, you know? Isn't that safe to say? If our porn history was like on a t-shirt that we had to wear in public, you know, like the Scarlet Letter, and you're just walking around with like, you know, like schoolgirls and MILF.
All these, like in Cub Scouts, like you'd have like badges.
Yeah, just all your searches just come up on your shirt. Oof. And then you're like, oh, God damn it, you know, like, I don't know. I was curious about that one. I didn't like it. I
just research.
You know, like whatever. I heard someone say it was kind of funny or whatever, you know. But anyways, your porn history is not a reflection of you as a person. It's a reflection of just part or what kind of horny mood you're in at the time or whatever. Right. And it's a shameful version of yourself. It's a personal part of yourself. You're just trying to get the poison out of your dick.
Yep.
You're not trying to do anything like, you know, like it doesn't mean you're a bad person because you need some girl to spread her butt cheeks open in order for you to bust out that you're demons, you know?
That's right.
Just so you can be nicer at the dinner table. It's just you being a good Christian, really. That's just my opinion, but not the opinion of the Catholic Church. Anyways, that was that story. So next story, Kevin, it's up to you. Either the top 5 cheaters in sports or a man caught visiting his wife's grave.
I know a little bit about the first one, so let's talk about some sports cheaters.
Oh, sports cheaters.
Yeah.
This is a meaty one, people, so dig in. Should we go 5-1 or 1-5? Let's go. No, I'm going to go 1-5 because I like 5. 5's a good closer.
All right.
Okay, top 5 cheaters in sports. This one I like this. You ever heard of a guy by the name of Fred Lors?
Nope.
Fred Lors?
Nope.
Fred Lors is a bricklayer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a bricklayer, and he won the gold medal in 1904 for the marathon. And he never really ran that much. And he didn't train at all for the Olympics.
All right.
And he did it because, do you have any guesses? 1904.
Was he throwing bricks at people?
No.
I was thinking 1904, he didn't get a ride somewhere.
Actually, that's where you're on, Kevin. He did get a ride.
Oh.
He got picked up in what must have been like the earliest car.
Huh.
Around the 9-mile mark. He ran for 9 miles, and then he brazenly hopped into a car.
Right.
that carried him for the next 11 miles. He then got out of the automobile and then jogged to the end of the race leisurely.
Like way ahead of everybody.
And he didn't even attempt to be discreet about it.
No.
Like from the car, he was waving at the other runners as he passed them on the car. Like
What a guy.
he could give two shits. And
Yeah.
so unsurprisingly, they stripped him of his gold medal.
God
And he didn't care because he said he was just participating as a joke. I think it was like at that time open that anyone could like run in the Olympics,
That's
in
pretty
the
cool.
marathon.
Yeah.
So he just found a way to win it and then get disqualified for cheating. Tragically. Anyways, I give that guy, for as far as cheating goes,
Right.
awesome full points.
Yep.
Super cool. And I look at him more favorably because he cheated.
I think the fact that he was just fucking around too.
Yeah. And it's great. He could always tell his friends,
Yeah.
I won the fucking Olympics one year.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, bullshit. And you're like, no, really, look, here's me with the gold medal right before they like arrested me for tainting the games.
Hot taint.
All right, number 2. This one here I like. It's a tragic story. They got to make a movie of this one. Donald Crowhurst. Sorry, Lori. Donald Crowhurst and the tragic yacht race.
Yacht.
Yacht.
All right.
So apparently, this guy, Donald Crowhurst, he was a British businessman and an amateur sailor. And then in 1969, he decided to participate in the Golden Globe race. It's a solo yacht race around the world. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, you got to go around the world, but you give your coordinates at various checkpoints and stuff like that. And the race takes like months or whatever, long time, right?
Yep.
To go around the world. So anyways, turns out this guy did not have the sailing skills to complete his task, nor did he have the vessel that was good enough to go all the way around the world. And he realized that if he didn't stop going, he was going to drown or the boat was going to sink, you know? So he did. He pulled ashore in South America and started radioing bogus positions that made it seem like he was winning.
Right.
And then eventually, he understood that no one would ever believe his lies, considering he was no longer racing.
Yeah.
So then he went radio silent for 3 months, and then he finally called in a report to say he was too far behind this other sailor.
Yeah.
And then he was prepared to concede the race to him. But then the radio told him that this Tetley guy,
Ooh.
yeah,
Of the T family?
maybe, that his boat had sunk, and that this guy, this guy was about to win, based on his last position.
Yeah.
So Crow's like, oh fuck, no one's gonna beat me. I'm gonna win by accident. So he threw himself overboard on. He went out again, just threw himself overboard and drowned. He killed himself by throwing himself
He
overboard.
didn't want to say.
Because he didn't want them to find out he was a cheater,
Oh, wow.
But we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're a cheater there, dead guy.
He could have got on a plane. Anything.
Yeah. He could have just said, hey, my boat just fucking blew up.
Yeah, it sank.
Oh, but you still win because you had the latest checkpoint. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'll take a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in South America.
Yeah, he could have.
Or just say, hey, Tetley won.
Yeah, or he could have just walked up to the beach and said, like you said, my boat broke and I've been in this little tubey thing, this buoy to keep me alive.
Yeah, it's just more lies, Kevin.
I
It's
know.
just more lies. He did the right thing.
Killed himself.
Yeah. Okay, this guy, no surprise, a Russian makes the list. His name is Boris Onashenko. And Boris Onashenko, apparently, he's a real good fencer. He was so good, in fact, that most people thought he was unbeatable. They thought this guy's got some sort of a magic sword or something. Right? Turns out he actually did have a magic sword. That this Onashenko guy, he had rigged the sword to have a pressure sensing mechanism so he could give himself points by pressing the small trigger when he was fencing, so he could set off their sensors even if he didn't touch the guy.
Oh.
And so he figured out this little contraption, and then he just kept smoking guys. And then one guy finally realized he was getting points without touching them. And then they looked into it and realized this guy had been cheating forever.
Just stabbed him.
Yeah, she just stabbed him right in his throat.
Yeah.
And that guy, but Russians, they like to cheat. Like, they're notorious cheaters.
Yep.
Americans as well. I mean, when you talk about Olympic sports, you got to put the Russians up there. You got to put the Americans up there. You got to put. I mean, Canada's got to take their licks.
Yeah, we've had a few cheetahs.
Yeah.
I cheetah all the time. Used to be a commercial.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that?
I think it was Ben Johnson for cheetah drinks or something like that.
He said he cheated?
I cheetah all the time.
And did he say that after he got caught?
Yeah, it was a commercial he did a few years later.
After? Oh, really?
Yeah. I'd have to look it up, but
Oh, that's a fucking balls move, man. Own it. That's the thing. If I ever get caught for doing something shameful, I have to own it. Like, I'm gonna. That's the only way to get out of trouble. You go out there and you're like, "Yeah, man, I did that." Like, suck my dick, you know. And then that's the only way to get out of it. I find apologies to be
yeah, cheetah drink.
counterproductive, eh?
Yeah.
Like, for if people complained about, say, this show or one of our, like, if it's too dirty or something, or they didn't like my comedy or whatever, like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I'm not going to apologize. It's like, yeah, that guy didn't like it. Whatever. Another guy's going to like it. What up?
Nothing.
Oh, he likes the couch.
Yep.
A porn star quality, he calls it. It was my grandpa's couch.
Oh.
My grandpa was a big fan of porn, I think.
He must have been slinging a lot of dick on this couch.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he made his 8 babies on it. I don't know. But that brings us, we're talking about Ben Johnson. And Ben Johnson's actually listed as number 4 in this list. It was actually not just Ben Johnson, but the whole, like the whole running race. You know, that whole race in the Olympics in Seoul.
Do you know that? Do you remember that, or is that way before your time?
I think that might have been before my time.
Well, what year was it? 88.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
That
old?
was 7 years before I was even thought about. So
Really?
What year were you born?
95.
Holy shit.
I think we graduated.
I started dating my wife in 1990. That means 5 years before he was born. So I could be your dad. Like, literally, I might be your dad.
It's possible.
Oh, my God. What if I'm your dad? No. I never met your mom. You think me and your mom would be a good couple?
Possibly.
Is she married, or is she still married to your dad?
No, they haven't been together for a while. So.
Does she have another guy?
No, you've got a shot.
She's single? You got a single mom?
Yeah.
God damn, I didn't know this.
Yeah. Don't tell Joe.
Don't tell my wife either.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell Joe. Don't ever tell Joe.
No.
Yeah, never.
No.
And has she been out to see you do comedy?
No.
Would you ever let her?
If she wanted to.
Yeah?
She just doesn't, I think, want to go to Hamilton to see
Yeah.
it, so.
But if you were doing a show like in her,
Locally or
locally,
something.
she
Yeah.
would go see you.
Probably.
My parents had never been to see me. They always say, like, when he wants us to come, he'll tell us.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I would ever say, like, this show is the one you should go to.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Carnegie
My
Hall.
mom watched the episode last week that we did.
Oh, really?
The one we did live, yeah.
Did she like it?
She did. Yeah, she did.
That one was when we made fun of that guy's accent the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so fun.
I wonder if she's gonna like this week's where we
boring.
talk about dating her.
She might.
Well,
Might make her whole week, so.
You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm looking for dates. I'm married. I am like happily married.
Wow.
But I've actually been writing this show about being divorced,
Uh-huh.
and it's like it's nice because you can channel all my divorce fantasies
Yeah.
into this character
Uh-huh.
that's divorced, and then I don't ever have to be divorced, but then I can still kind of imagine what it'd be like and how
Right.
I would handle it very poorly, because I just see how every other guy I know handles it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm definitely gonna be like one of them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be any better than them. Like,
No.
I would handle it the same way, just miserably. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's fun, and it's fun to write because it's like you are kind of having like fantasies,
It's like fantasy football.
but you're fantasizing about being divorced. But I'm also fantasizing about being like depressed about being divorced, right?
Yeah.
Which is not fun, right? That's the worst part.
Yeah.
How come girls don't get that?
I don't know.
Right away, they seem to be happy and they found someone else and they look better and they've dropped 20 pounds.
Guys are always
Right.
blindsided by, I think.
Yeah, and guys are like, I forgot how to take care of myself. I think it's like a trick. They tell you, oh, like you don't fold your laundry right. Like you should, I don't want you shrinking my clothes or putting the red sock in the whites or whatever. So you can't do laundry anymore, right? Mm-hmm. And then they stay with you for 20 years, right? And then they leave you, and now you're all sitting there. You don't know how to wash your own clothes anymore. you forgot everything because they and then you're just useless sitting there, and they've like done all this stuff to care for you, but then they actually just really made you useless and unable to care for yourself.
They know you're going to be walking around with pink shirts.
Yeah, pink shirts, and everything's too small, and you just feel dumb because you're grown up and you don't know how to do this stuff anymore. Mm-hmm. You knew how to do it before you met her.
Yeah, you gain a bunch of weight. Gain a bunch of weight because all you're doing is eating pizza pockets and
crying. Yeah, man.
They moved on. And
they're living the first day of the rest of their life. Yeah. They've never looked better. They got a whole fucking lineup of activities planned, and they got a
bunch of guys with good backs waiting to date them.
Oh yeah, cock anytime they want it.
Yep.
You know, anytime they want it, man. Mm-hmm. That's the great thing about being a woman. Mm-hmm. Just wonderful. I shouldn't even say this because it's kind of family business, but at Thanksgiving this year,
yes,
it was Thanksgiving, and I went to my in-laws, and my mother-in-law, she was had a burap about men, I guess, that day. So she kept saying like, what does he know? He's a man. Like they don't know anything until we tell them, you know. And then she was trashing men just constantly. And at one point she was like, "I hope I come back in my next life as a man because you don't have to do nothing, right?" And I'm like, it's amazing how like when you get shit on all day that you don't feel motivated to go up and help in the kitchen. Right? That was like all. Anyways, that's how I was thinking. There was a piece of me that was offended, and a piece of me that was super like impressed and thought it was cool. Yeah. How like badass she was being. Like she was just trashing us to our faces, like me and all my brother-in-laws. Yeah, they were just saying, "Well, you guys are all shit," and we're like, "Oh well, I don't know. I think we're okay." But it was kind of brazen, very Hungarian.
Nice.
Yeah, you have family stuff for Thanksgiving, Kev?
No, I didn't have to do nothing.
You didn't? Did you have to cook a turkey or anything?
Didn't cook a turkey.
Didn't eat one?
Didn't eat one. Went to Kelsey's.
Really?
Yep.
That was a story you told me was on Thanksgiving? She went to her mom's for Thanksgiving and you and your kid didn't go?
We didn't have to.
We didn't have to.
I didn't know that was Thanksgiving that you were talking about. I thought there was just some dinner.
Nope.
Oh, man, that's balls. I would never fly in my world. Family obligations are one of those things like, well, my wife's family is a little bit more flexible. If you didn't want to do it or you had something else going on, I think they'd be okay with it. But like in my family, those things are command performances.
Yeah, that's how her family is too, though.
Yeah,
you're there. You're there. If you're not, you're not.
Yeah, they're okay with it.
Yep.
Yeah, my mom, and dad, they were kind of like, when there's something going on for the family, you have to go. Like, you better have a damn good excuse not to go. And I kind of like it that it was always that way because you didn't have to think about it. You just knew you had to do it.
You were going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, this thing. And then it ends up that my family's pretty cool, so it's fun to hang out with them. So I like it. Even though I sometimes would rather just lie on the couch by myself, rather than go to a family get-together. It's not that I don't want to be with my family. It's just that I would rather lie on a couch and just look at like at nothing, you know, like just stare into space, think about nothing. That'd be awesome. Oh, do we burn through that? Oh no, I didn't tell you. Oh, anyways, you know how Ben Johnson gets in trouble for being like dirty in that race in '88? He got stripped of the gold medal because he was on steroids. Mm-hmm. Well, it's apparently he wasn't the only cheater in that race. 6 out of the 8 runners in that race ended up testing positive for doping. And the guy that won, Carl Lewis, that guy, there's no goddamn way he was clean.
Like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, there's never been a sprinter since that era that's looked like
ripped.
Like that, like what Carl Lewis looked like. They were all just like jacked up. But that, what do you give that cheater? right, for score. Like those cheaters, like they were just doing it because everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
They weren't being like unique, like trying to get a unique advantage. They were just trying to keep up to the pack, right?
Yeah.
They're just a bit dumber at hiding it. That's what I think. So I don't really care about that. I still think give them all the drugs they want and just see how crazy records we can break and stuff.
I think that'd be awesome, like the all juice Olympics.
Yeah, like that's how those. I don't give Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire an asterisk for those home runs. Like
Everybody was doing it
for
then.
Barry Bonds. Like I'm like, yeah, that's fucking right. Everyone loved it.
Just give them their own record for
Yeah.
using steroids, and yeah,
Yeah, that's a steroid era. Everybody was using it.
Yeah.
They were just like in that era. Just let them. I'd put them in the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't care about it. That's just the times they lived in. People did those things. Now we cleaned it up, and they don't do that no more.
It's like Hulk Hogan trying to say he just ate his vitamins and said his prayers.
Those vitamins were steroids, anabolic steroids.
Mexican vitamins.
I ate them with a needle in my bum.
Yep.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. I hate Hulk Hogan. Like I hated him when I was a kid as a wrestler. Like I was like, ugh, he's so cheesy. Like it was never appealing to me. And same with same with John Cena. If I was a kid.
oh, I hated him.
And John Cena was, I would never like that guy. I would be against that guy, right? And I liked the bad guy. The bad guy's cool, right?
Yeah. I like
Piper.
that. Who's that
Triple
guy?
H.
He's from
Yeah.
I think he's from Oakville. He plays like a comedy. He had the Cobra.
Oh, Santino Morello.
I like that guy too.
yeah.
Yeah, Santino Morello.
John China.
You're a huge Santino Morello fan, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good wrestlers from those areas, but I always like the bad guys. I liked ravishing Rick Rude.
Adrian Adonis.
Oh yeah, Adrian Adonis. Like guys that you just love to hate. Like there's nothing funnier than a guy that can come out and just start trashing the crowd so well and have them all hate him, and then but it's half the crowd's booing, half the crowd's laughing.
Oh,
right?
it's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like because no one talks like that. No one would say those things just to be a dick, you know.
Yeah.
Except for so that's why it's funny, you know. I love it.
I think that's why like Stone Cold had the run he did, right?
Yeah, because he was a bad guy, but there was enough dickheads like me who were opposite, who liked to cheer for the bad guy,
Exactly. Yeah.
that he became the anti-hero. Yeah, that's kind of like how they all are now. Most of them are all kind of in between. Like they're kind of like, if you look what they're doing, they're kind of doing bad guy stuff, but everybody loves it, you know? Like Eddie Guerrero. Remember Eddie Guerrero?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Lie, cheat, and steal, and lie, cheat, and steal, and then everyone would cheer for him, right?
Yeah.
It was like, it becomes like people like to cheer for the villains, like the Robin Hood kind of character, right?
Mamacita.
I'm trying to write a joke about like how there's like everyone tries to obey the law most of the time, but there's one law that no one obeys. In fact, they'll get mad at you if you obey it, and it's speeding. Like, it's like if you're not even breaking the law enough, people are mad at you.
Yeah.
You know, like was he only going like 10 over the maximum speed limit?
What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, he's a fucking dick. Like, hurry up. You know they'll give you 15. Like, it's a law, right?
Yeah.
Someone else talking?
No.
Oh, yeah. And, and, I don't know, I'm so fucking lost. Do you want us to do the segment we call, what were we talking about? Oh, we're still in the yacht race. No, we were in the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we did number 4.
Yeah, so there's only one more. The number 5, which I think is number 1, which is it's the Paralympics.
Oh no.
The Spanish Paralympics team. Apparently,
There's some cheating there.
yeah. Apparently in 2000, so this is in the year 2000, the Spanish won the gold medal in basketball.
Right.
Apparently they cleaned right up. Their team was dominant.
Yes.
Yeah. Should have been a momentous celebration, but it turned into one of the biggest farces in the history of the Paralympics. Oh, no. Turns out that the Spanish team, out of the 12 players, 10 of them had no disabilities whatsoever.
Oh no. The ringers.
Yeah.
They're all ringers.
Now, that wasn't bad enough. Things got even worse. investigations discovered that 2 Spanish swimmers and one of the table tennis players had no handicaps or disabilities. And the Spanish weren't the only ones cheating. The Russians also had competitors with no disabilities.
My father.
Yeah. But you know what? In some of the sports, it's understandable. Like, there's a sport called gold ball. Have you ever heard of gold ball?
No.
It's for blind people.
Oh.
And so it's like they throw this ball, and it's got like a bell in it or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to hear the ball whizzing at you, and you catch it, and then you got to chuck it in the net, I think, or something.
Mm-hmm.
So because blind people, you can be like legally blind, but you're not.
You still see shapes.
You can still see shapes, so they have to blindfold everybody to make them sure they're all the same amount of blind, right? So in which case, I could be full sighted. If you blindfold me, I can't see, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it would actually be a disadvantage to a blind person because they would have heightened senses that I wouldn't have, right? Like it was apparently. So that one, you could let me in. And I'm going to say, if it was wheelchair basketball, then why do you have to be in a wheelchair to play wheelchair basketball?
Yeah.
Right? It's no advantage if you're in a wheelchair. Even if I'm able-bodied, I can sit in a wheelchair, you know? And then again, I'm not living in the wheelchair, so it's not as easy for me as it would be a guy that does it, you know, for years. It's his whole thing, right? I'm just saying, I don't know if these guys are in wheelchairs or if they're just like playing in like, it's not the Special Olympics, right? Like it's got to be like somehow you got to like even the playing field. You can't say this guy's got a limp and then this guy's got no legs, you know, like go against each other. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the Special Olympics, you know, like what if one person is more special than another person?
Right.
They don't put them in another category of extra special or something
That's
like
fair.
that, do they?
I don't think so.
So is the guy who's just a little bit special, like just makes it in as special, as he had an advantage at some of the sports? At chess, probably.
Could be like could be like that blind thing you were just talking about.
What?
Could be just like that blind
Yeah, the
thing
blind
you were
thing.
just talking about.
They have to even it up,
Yeah.
playing field with like booze or something. You're like, you're not dumb. You know, you're not special enough. We're gonna have to get you drunk or something. Make it as special as this guy. This guy can barely talk.
That's good.
Is that hell worthy? Do I go to hell for that one? Oh, anyways, that was the last one.
All right.
Yeah, that is the worst, right? Cheating in the Paralympics is like pretty low.
Yeah.
Cheating in the Special Olympics would be lower, but funnier as well.
They made a movie about it, didn't they? The Ringer.
Yeah, The Ringer, which is also a great movie and super funny.
Yeah.
And like it is funny, right? Like it is pretty funny. Like
It was a funny movie when it came out.
yeah, like I mean even like the Special Olympics in general is really funny. Like if you watch it, you know, you feel guilty about laughing, but a lot of times they're doing crazy things. Like it's funny, right? Like it's funny. Right?
Honestly, I've never watched it, but
Oh,
Yeah,
like
South Park did an episode about it.
yeah, like it's not like I just know that like when I've like been at the rec center at the pool or something like that, and like the whole like bus unloads, the short bus unloads, and the people are gonna go swimming, you know,
right.
and if you watch what they're talking about and how they're interacting with each other and talking about their girlfriends and shit like that, it's hilarious. Like, it's fun. It's funny, right?
Yeah.
And but you're not supposed to find that funny, right? Or like, but it's funny. Like it's funny because they're like, it's like they have a different way of looking at the world.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious, right? And I'm not laughing at them. It's
With
just like I think it's funny the way they're like the way they put things and stuff. It's just really matter of fact, and they don't have like all the hang-ups that
Right.
regular people have, I guess. And then so to me, it strikes me as funny, right? Where like a little person, if I see a little person, I get excited, right? Like I get my whole body becomes like excited,
Yeah.
like I'm seeing a rare sighting that's going to bring me joy.
You love little people.
Love them, like it's a
Yeah,
physical reaction of like, ooh yeah, like I'm really excited, and that is wrong. You know, that is just judging a person. You know, like based on their appearance, like on their physical attributes. You know,
Okay.
Whereas
I always just thought you genuinely loved him.
I do,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's appropriate, that
Oh.
response. You know, I don't think laughing or getting excited just because of the person's stature is enough. Now, if they're dressed like a elf or they're in wrestling attire, then I think that's warranted.
Who
You
was
know,
that guy? Hornswoggle?
yeah. If you dress like a leprechaun, you know,
Amazing.
you're allowed to do that.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Hit under the ring most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, that guy, like, if you got hit by him, like if he came off the top ropes, I got a picture with him, me and Hornswoggle drinking
Yeah.
at Tootsie's in Nashville. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, Hornswoggle apparently, like, he's built like a brick shit house, and it really hurts.
I'll bet.
Like the legs and ass are like real thick, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you think it would be like a kid jumping on you, but it's not a kid. It's a fucking thick man.
Yeah. Probably
just-
works out.
Yeah, it's just little stature, but he's like just getting hit with a fire hydrant or something, you know.
Like an Acme anvil.
Yeah. Still, man, what could be more fun than wrestling a little guy? I loved midget wrestling when it was a popular thing. And like when I was a kid, midget wrestling was a thing, and I would get excited for that portion of the show where the little people would come out and wrestle. And then like now I watch old wrestling sometimes on like the internet and stuff, and you'll see the midgets come out. And I say this because that's what they called the division at the time. And these guys, like, they train just like the big
They fly,
people did.
too.
They fly?
Like they just fly around the ring.
Yeah, they're fast, and they got all these like bits where they mess with the referee and stuff. But like they were like took it seriously. Like they wanted to beat each other and show they were tougher than each other, and they trained and they did everything. Like they were real like serious about it. And then they said it was offensive, and these guys who dedicated their whole lives to it, you
Gotta
know,
work.
training and working out and being like a midget wrestler, being proud, it's their identity. It's how they feed their families and stuff. And they say, no, sorry, that thing that you take pride in, it's offensive to you, so you can't do it.
Yeah, you're out of work.
Yeah, and they're out of work. That's the worst thing ever. They're protected from the thing that they like the most. They take the most pride in, you know?
Yeah.
You just got to look at it from different sides. It's not as easy to think, you know. You can't just say, oh, like they're just like exploiting these people because they're entertaining or because they're a spectacle to watch or whatever. But they kind of are a spectacle to watch because they're these little people who are all great athletes.
Yep.
Isn't that the spectacle?
Yeah.
Like you want to see athletes, and you're giving them a whole division of something to compete in. So there's little people didn't know what to do. They just put them in wrestling, and then they would wrestle, you know. And then they have a place where they could go.
So why is it okay to have a giant if it's not okay?
Not okay to have a little person. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I think it's wrong. I think that they need to bring the division back.
Yeah.
They need to bring the little people. Call it little people division if you're upset about the name, and let these little fuckers wrestle. But I think the ones that were trained are probably dead now.
Yeah.
Now there's probably not a lot of kids. You don't probably get excited about a little person.
Well, no, they
There's this one time I went out. This is when I was at the bank, and it was my coworker says, "Come out to this lunch with us." It's like with this guy who was like what do you call it? Like he was like another guy that would do similar business to us that would complement our business, you know, so that we would go out to kind of like hobnob, you know, like for lack of a better word. So like you got to meet this guy because he'll give us business, we give him business or whatever, you know. So we're meeting with this guy, and then my friend said, like a coworker says, you know, I just want to warn you before we sit down, this guy has a little person daughter. So don't say anything about that.
that's probably all you could think about after that.
I'm like, right before the guy gets there, I'm not even allowed to ask any questions. I got a fucking 1,000, right?
Yeah.
And so nothing. So the guy sits down. So now I am just, I have in my head, he's got a little person daughter. Don't say anything about the little person daughter. Okay. And then we start talking. He starts talking about his family. And he starts talking about his daughter, and how his daughter's really into skiing, you know. And I'm like, oh, little person skiing, you know, is in my head now. And then now the guy tells me that his daughter's not even his daughter's adopted, right? And she's from Jamaica. So now I'm like, Jamaican
Little person.
skiing. So I got this little kid with dreadlocks, like a little stature skiing.
Right.
I'm so fucking entertained at this point in time, just the vision that he's created in my head of his daughter. And like, does she do tricks? Like, and then now I'm picturing it in my head, all this stuff. But the more he's describing, I'm just picturing it and getting excited and like about, like, I got more and more questions, and like, and the fact that he hasn't said she's a little person, but I know she's a little person. But any of my questions are going to give away the fact that I know it was a difficult lunch. I'll tell you that. It was a really difficult lunch to get through. Because I just had, but as soon as the guy left, I'm like, can you imagine? Did you picture his daughter on the hill,
Like Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had no idea. Like, I've never seen a Jamaican little person skiing in my life. That would have been like one for the bingo card,
Yeah.
One time in Yins and Waterford, I saw a black albino. That's a rare one.
Yeah.
How many black albinos have you seen?
I'm gonna say 0 because I don't know what that is necessarily, but
Oh, a black albino?
yeah.
Yeah, you should look it up on the internet. It's they got like they're like yellow.
Oh,
Yeah, they're like they have
they
like
look like a Simpsons character.
yeah, like blonde hair and like yellowy skin and like pink eyes, and then like they're like yeah, look it up on your phone.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, they go African American or like African American albino or something like that, or black albino. Yeah, they look. It's freaky. They're not common. I'll tell you that. Albinos in general, they can't see nothing. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Remember? Do you ever watch the movie Me, Myself, and Irene?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they got Milky.
Wow.
And he can't see nothing unless he's got those glasses on that you can see like the details of the sun or whatever. You see one? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I saw that guy buying Chinese food in Waterford.
Holy moly.
He must be the only one. Like, they're real rare sighting. Like, that's all I'm saying. Rare sighting.
Yeah.
And you gotta at least take note when you see something you don't see every day. But
Yeah.
I know that's probably bad if you're the person that's always the spectacle when you go around. That's probably not cool. But you gotta like expect the first time you come around, people would be like, "Oh man, I've never seen that before." Then they're cool with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It really lasts like 5 minutes. That's like the whole thing with most of, I think, like transphobia is just that. It's just give the guy 5 minutes to go, oh my God, look, then they get it out of their head. Then they get used to it. It's over with.
Yeah.
It just takes that little adjustment period for you to get your head around it when you're never seen it before. You're like, oh, finally, I'm seeing this. And then it becomes kind of commonplace. Like, you just get used to it immediately. It's like when you go to a strip club, right? Originally, you walk in, you're like, oh, naked people?
Yeah.
It's the best. And then, like, 2 dancers, maybe tops. You're like,
playing pool, not even paying attention.
yeah, like another naked, another vagina. Who cares?
Yep.
It's just like so. And then you expect the girls at the mall, if you go right to the mall after that, you would expect all those girls at the mall to start taking their clothes off. And you're kind of disappointed that they're
Never
not.
happens that way, though.
Doesn't, no.
No.
But you do kind of think about it. You're like, oh, when's she going to take her clothes off? I'd like to see that.
Even worse if you go to the bar after.
And you're like, no. Oh, yeah, exactly. I haven't been to a strip club in it forever. Because last time I went to a strip club, it was turned into some sort of brothel.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like they weren't interested in like doing dancing. There was like they're always trying to turn tricks or something.
Oh, handsy.
Yeah, or mouthy.
Like one that talks back. So, don't forget your feedback.
I wouldn't even wear a condom. I wouldn't even wear a condom for a regular sex. Why would I wear one for a blowjob?
Fair.
Yeah.
That's like the least marketable thing a girl can try to sell me is a blowjob with a condom on. I'd be like, no, never.
I'll just masturbate.
Yeah, exactly. I'll masturbate to me turning you down for the offer. That'll be enough. That'll get me off of saying like I have power over you now.
It's Viagra.
Saying no. Yeah. Plus I have dick pills in, so I can really jerk off to anything. So we have a segment on this show that we talk to our listeners, and we call this segment Feedback. We got feedback.
We got feedback.
feedback. We got feedback. That's always the hard one, Johnny. It's always the hard one, is that first one.
Well, and the mouse keeps skipping on me too. So
Yeah. Right to your loo, my darling.
+2.
And what?
He's a +2.
+2?
Yep.
And anyways, we ask our listeners, reach out to us. Tell us what you think of the show. And some of them actually end up being our great friends. And this week is no exception. Last week, Willie Naylor told us, fix the goddamn chat. If I'm chatting with you, you're supposed to be paying attention. So this week, we paid attention. Willie talked to us. That's what happens with feedback, you know? Oh. That was quick, Johnny. I didn't even think you'd do it because your hand wasn't even close to the mouse. And the other thing is that we have our listener, Emil Van Steeg, in Australia.
Hey.
And he's sitting there talking to us every week, making us better, giving us show ideas. And you know what? I named him Diamond Club member. He was a Diamond Club member.
Producer credit.
Got a producer credit. And I sent him a T-shirt, a Diamond Club member T-shirt.
Nice.
All the way to Australia. He received it. He said it fit him.
Oof.
And he said that his daughter calls the T-shirt his jam shirt. He's got a 3-year-old daughter, and she calls it his jam shirt because I have a patio lantern as the shape. You know, like Dutch Hall uses the patio lantern a lot.
Yep.
And he's never, his daughter's never seen a patio lantern in real life. So the closest thing it looks like to her is a jam jar, so she calls it his jam shirt. He says that they never seen a patio lantern in real life, only in movies.
Huh.
Yeah. That song, Kim Mitchell's Patio Lanterns, that song is just like a mystery.
It's a foreign concept.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about.
Huh.
It's like not an Australian thing. Did you know that?
I had no idea. You'd think that a country like that would have patio lanterns.
Yeah. You think so?
Maybe they just have a different cool name for them with all their slang.
It's called a dongery diggery.
Dongery diggery?
Dongery diggery.
Dutch Hall fact or for true?
Oh, that's definitely a Dutch Hall fact.
Nice.
Probably something like that, though.
Yeah.
Made out of like the bones of Aboriginals or something.
Yeah, or a sheep's anus or something.
Or the
like
criminals of
England.
sheep anus?
Sheep anus.
Does sound appetizing.
Nice bright light.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all that we had. If you want to give us some feedback in the future, go to the DutchHall@gmail.com or go to @DutchHall on Instagram and Twitter and reach out to us. Let us know what you think, and we will use it on the show. We promise, unless we forget. So that's it. What time is it now, Kev?
You're at almost 1 hour.
What?
You're so close. You're like 30 seconds away.
yeah.
Okay, quick barrage. There's not much to do other than tell people about nothing. I don't even want to promote anything yet.
I think you should promote Swazi's one.
Who's going to watch? This isn't going to go out till after it's done.
Yeah.
God damn it. I hope people come to Swazi's. Please come to Swazi's. I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
And then I got a fucking hell gig. I'm not sure if it's a hell gig or not yet, but there's a possibility of a big hell corporate gig. And I'm going to do a show at a burlesque. No. Did I say burlesque?
Yeah, you said burlesque.
Yeah, burlesque show. I'm the only comedian on a burlesque show.
Nice.
Yeah, which I'm pretty excited about. That sounds like dirty, right?
Are you going to put nipple pasties on and
Ooh, perhaps.
shake your boobies?
So check Pete Van Dyke Comedian for details. PeteVanDykeComedian.com, I should say, for any details of dates I got coming up. Fall and do all those things I told you. Johnny, you want anyone to follow you? Say Johnny Renton. Go find Johnny Renton on the things too. Follow him. He's doing stuff at Levity all the time.
Yep.
You can go see that guy there. Kevin Van Dungeon, he's going to haunt your nightmares.
Yep.
So just watch him in your dreams.
Yep. Don't fucking follow me.
And until next week, No. I wasn't saying. I didn't know you're laughing at it. I thought you were going to say something, Johnny. I didn't want to jump on you.
No, I was laughing at the "don't follow me."
Yeah, don't follow Kevin. He has no need for you to butt your nose into his personal life. What's the matter with you?
Fuck off.
Stay away from him. But follow me and Johnny because we're whores.
Yeah, follow those two.
And until next week, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday. Hit that fucking theme song, buddy.